So, I wanted to share with all of you what's been going on in my life this past week because it's probably similar to something you've been through in the past. And I wanted to talk to you about how I got through it. So, I guess about, I don't know, a week ago, 10 days ago, I really started thinking about my future and where I'm going to live. And for those of you who know my story, my husband has primary progressive MS and my son has intellectual disabilities. So there are very specific requirements I have for where we're going to live in the future. And so one of the places is Massachusetts. And we went up there, we were just kind of tooling around looking, and it was nice, but I found myself getting really sad. And I couldn't figure out why that was because it was a beautiful day. I just found myself getting sad. And then when I came home that night, I started really getting stressed about, oh my God, what's going to happen when I get older and I'm the only one around to care for my husband? What if something happens to me and I get sick or I get disabled and I can't help him? So I started this pattern of like just what if, what if, what if? And then I started down the pattern of, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to just keep working the rest of my life to pay for all of the expenses for my son because he's never going to live on his own and I'm always going to have to help him, and my husband, all of that. And as much as I love working, I was having these anxiety stress feelings that it's not an option, right? I'm not going to have the choice of whether I want to work or not. I'm going to have to. And that started me feeling trapped. So I'm just feeling the unease of all of this stress and this overwhelming of what's going to happen in the future, and really started getting stressed about money. And I don't usually have that happen, but I felt myself just worrying about money and worrying about where I'm going to live and worrying about what the future looks like and worrying if I get sick. And the first thing that happened was I got poison ivy. And all of a sudden it was just all over my body. But here's what's interesting. Even once the poison ivy went away, I was still itching in my body and I got all nervous that that meant something else. And then the next thing that happened was I got the car tax bills. Yes, that's always lovely to get in Connecticut. And it was like $1,200 I didn't expect for this month. I should have probably planned for it. I didn't. That's a whole other issue. And then all of a sudden I got these medical bills that I wasn't expecting for my daughter. So all of a sudden, all of that downward spiral, negativity, stress started attracting more of it to me, right? Like, so now I'm even more worried about my health, and now even more bills are piling on that I didn't expect. And so I stopped and I even said to my husband, I can feel myself spiraling and I need a pattern interrupter, because I knew that I was attracting more of this negativity, and I knew that I was putting out these stress vibes, and the stress energy was attracting more stress. And so usually I can snap out of it in a day, but this wasn't happening. And I think that it's also, there's changes coming up. My youngest is going to be a senior in high school, so thinking of those changes moving forward and all of this. And so I was out with my girlfriend the other day and I said, I need a pattern interrupter. And she's like, well, what do you mean? And I said, I need something that literally screeches on the brakes of my stress and my mindset and all of this negative spiral I'm going into, so I can say, take a pause and say, wait a second, let me regroup. And I was doing a lot of the things that are right. I'm eating right, I'm exercising, but this time I needed a major jolt. And so and as a coach, right? Like train yourself and teach yourself, whatever that phrase is. And I said, what is it that I'm not doing? What's in my bag of tricks that I can grab to start changing this pattern around? And the first thing I did, my best friend had been away and I hadn't gotten to see her. And so I went over to my best friend's house and I just unloaded, right? I got it all out that had been piling up in my brain, and I just vocalized it. And that helped tremendously. That was the first part. And then I came home that night and I realized, I started writing down and journaling everything, and I realized that all of my fears and concerns were the future me. Nothing that was happening right now. It was all the future me. And all of a sudden the light bulb went on and I went, oh my God, I am living in the future, having fear, and I forgot about my mindfulness. I forgot about living in the present moment. And I stopped and said, is everything okay right now, right this minute? And it is. So then I went into my bag of tricks of how do I bring myself back to mindfulness? And this is something I work on with my son as well. I first go outside and I stand barefoot on the grass, whatever, because I want to feel the energy of the earth. And then I go for a walk and I embrace all of my senses. So I don't have any distractions. I leave my phone at home. It's just me. And I start really looking, right? I look at the sky. I look at the vibrancy of the trees. And then I start listening. I try to find as many birds that I can hear, or whatever noises are going on. And then I smell whatever it is. Maybe it's bad, maybe it's good, whatever it is. But I utilize all of my senses to ground me in the present moment and to understand all of that stuff that I was worried about and concerned about. That's all in the future. That's not happening right now. Right now, I am okay. And then the last piece of what I did was I got back to all my affirmations. And I have different ones, but there's some I say, especially when I'm in this present moment. And one of the biggest ones, it's the simplest, but it's the biggest. It's all is well. All is well. And that one I follow with every day I grow in abundance, success, and love as I encourage others to do the same. And those two, one, all is well, grounds me, and the other one puts me into that mode of feeling gratitude for everything that's great now, as well as wishing it upon everybody else. And so I immediately felt different. And I can tell you that immediately things started changing for me, right? I got a great call. I have a new client I'm working with, which is really exciting. I got some great news about a friend. Like all of a sudden, all of this stuff started changing as soon as I calmed myself down, released all the stress vibes, and started working on that gratitude, the mindfulness of all is okay right now, and started attracting back in all of those good feelings. So if you feel that spiraling, that, oh my God, this is what's happening in the future, I'm really, and for women in midlife, that happens, right? So when you start feeling yourself spiraling, I need you to find a pattern interrupter. That might literally be you saying, whoa, I'm okay, I'm gonna stop right now. Or it might be going for a run and working up a real sweat, or it might be reaching out to a friend. Whatever it is, find that pattern interrupter and then start really thinking about your here and now, your present moment. Right now, you are fine. So if you want more tips like this, you can go to Allison-Jacobson.com. You can work with me as a coach and I can help you with all of these things, but try it out because I promise you it makes a difference.